So welcome back in our stream with Fourth Monkey again, and I didn't have much time to stream last week because of my internet connection got some problem. But yeah, we are here again to start our new week, our new opportunity for this week. And yes, hello Milky. So yes, we were going to start my stream. I'll be the first one. I'll be sharing my analysis, thoughts, and everything. And Fourth Monkey will be the next one. So okay, we'll be covering the market today, and let us do a quick recap first. Last week we secured our downside targets. We played the chart perfectly. Now we are shifting our focus entirely. We have completely new market conditions today. But yeah, we had choppy price action last week, but now we already um shifting the market direction. But remember, today is Monday. You know what it all means for today. It might all retrace this pump on this Monday, or it's either we continue upwards. Okay, so for today, I will be focusing first on this for our time frame, the Bitcoin market structure and key levels. Bitcoin is currently trading near right now at 63,600. So yeah, we have a massive outflow since last week, and the sentiment, because we had a law. I mean, we had so many news upcoming, and the crypto. I forgot that one. The signing something on news. It didn't, postpone for now. They will continue. I think that they will be having a meeting for this week. But yeah, I don't trade much on news event or something. Just watching for my key levels for now. So, but I always consider 50% for the news. Of course, there's some events that are coming up, some news, you know, piling that up for uh, just having a risk tolerance for that. And 50%, of course, on the analysis, technical analysis for every alts, for every majors. Always I trade. Okay, so looking at the 4-hour Bitcoin chart, so the point of control or the POC currently holding here at 63,900, and our primarily long entry sits, 63 K level for this one. So basically, it's a good entry for now. We have I just might deduct like minus 500. So yeah, we still on the break even side because I'm talking about my challenge for now. So yes, we got 56 on Ethereum last week and Bitcoin negative 70. But now we are already still at break even for now. So yeah, these are my positions on my challenge, and hoping we can finish it for this week or next week, hopefully. For phase one is 1K. For the second phase, for 1.5 challenge for the end of goal for this one. Okay, so we are targeting here the massive overhead resistance around 65 to 66. Maybe I will be adding, if I have a confirmation on this area at POC 63 900 to 64K. Once I got the confirmation, I can add, I, I think, like 10% or maybe 5 more percent on this Bitcoin position. So yeah, and we can TP around 65 to 66. This is what I'm currently planning on, since we have a much structure with Fort Monkey, as we had a quick meeting, like catching up with the recent news, and we are currently grinding all this stuff, like, having brainstorm everything with him. So yes, we perfectly match on this one. But yeah, we just had a similar structure for this and different analysis on this long particularly. So yes, be looking for shorts once we got a acceptance about this liquidity at 66, or maybe I will be starting to DCA again at 65 500 before shorting down again. So this is my plan. Currently, we are long in Bitcoin at 63K, and my next is TP around 65 to 65 500, and I'll be this started to DCA to short around 65 500 to 66 500, and then short for swing and targeting around 60 61K probably this one. So that's my plan for my structure, long and short. So let's move on our order book tab and OP liquidity clusters. So the liquidity hit mob. Wait, I just need to mute someone here. Okay, let's move on. The liquidity hit map tells us the real story here. We already swept, like what my analysis is saying since last week. We need to fill not all, but yeah, like half of this one is 62. So yes, and didn't fit basically didn't fit it all in this one, and I adjusted my stop loss just in case we retrace all this pump uh for the upcoming days or following days, just to have a safe position on this line. And yes, we have a order blockbuster sitting right above us, like here, of course. There is the yellow, this one, at this first one, and about this one, like 64 700 about. So once we got the stop confirmation, like the acceptance above this POC 64K, maybe 800 to 64K, I think, yeah, if we are able to hold that one, we can smash. Okay, we can let's just mute him. Okay. So, yeah, as I said, if we can hold around the skill levels of VOC, we can able to smash this TP at 65. Then, yeah, if we can have, more risky side just to finish the phase one to 1K, we can add more around maybe 20 or, $15 just to catch. I already added this one. If we can smash our TP, it's like overall it will be around 900 or something. So yeah. Okay, so uh of course, market makers will hunt this resting liquidity on whatever side it's, if we have a long or short scenario. And yeah, this confirms our primary target for BTC long setup. Hopefully, we can smash everything, set it up, started earlier. But yeah, we got, Monday today, we got a risky uh, price action. It might uh, retrace over on this pump. That's why I adjusted base stop loss at 62K. This one. Yes. Okay. For the Sol, I have a very confident on this one. So Sol or Solana form a clean swing uh, failure pattern on this one, and POC at the right. below on this equal lows at 73.7, and um yeah, I will be targeting around 79 to 80 on this one. We executed the long at this price. That's I think 76. Yeah, because I did DCA order on this one. So 76 basically, it's almost hit our BE here. And I will be, blessed to have max TP at 77, which is um understandable on this one because we have a equal highs on this. So if I have a more confirmation to hold, yeah, I will be greedying with this one up until to 80K. Sorry, 80 area. Yes, and yeah, the stop loss below on POC. So on this one, let's move on the real time footprint order flow and execution strategy. So price broke successfully held the weekly view up, which is at 63,300 ish. And the delta volume just turned positive for today. And OI actively dropping down. And CVD is, still negative on this market session. So late shorts are getting flashed out right now. And let's see New York Open if they will still try to open short or long on this one. But what I see now is as long as we hold above this VWAP and acceptance around 64K, we might able to see my TP price at 65K. So yeah, but I will be uh monitoring at 64K level. So this gives us confirmation to hold my positions on both Solana and Bitcoin. Hopefully we can really finish this challenge this week. And to summary overall on this one, yeah, to summarize my plan for tonight for the rest of the day or upcoming days, both signs or the setups align with the macro liquidity shifts, and we follow the OB clusters and execute without any having doubts or emotions for this one. And yes, I'm just waiting for New York Open and monitoring the situation. For my watch list, yeah, for Bitcoin, I really love it. Everyone, really love this coin. And I will be, you know, uh, once we got a retrace around this area at POC, but I will be starting to long again for swing and target on this equal highs around 0.17 or maybe up until 0.2. So yes, this will be my end game for position on my challenge, but let's see if I can finish it. So that's my plan for Firecoin. Maybe 0.135 out until 0.13 to DCA, something like this one. And stop loss around this area and TP on this highest. Yes, this will be my next plan for this one. So I pulled my alert on this one. Okay, and also I got I want to ask Fort Monkey about this one later on this wonderful setup. Like, it's really good for the next bull run cycle. Like, if we can manage to hold this level, I currently have a alert button here at 180 to set up a swing long maybe next month of, or if we are able to catch this below liquidity level at 180. But as I think for now, needed more volume on this before we set up for big longs on Tao. So one of my favorite coin also. And for high, nothing yet. I'm still thinking of this one. So yeah, that's it for my setup. Any question, guys, or you want to talk about? Yeah, Milky, our favorite favorite coin, hard coin. Let's see, but yeah, yesterday I was looking at this one, like setting my, you know, next plan for Coin, and after an hour, it really pumped hard on this level. So yes, I'm just waiting, retrace back if we can manage to pull this one before going on the swing. Yeah, yeah, and not yet. I don't have yet. These are my only positions for now, Sol and Bitcoin. USD. I don't usually see see that one. What was that again? Mm, okay, USDT dominance. Not yet sure for that. Like, gold. What I'm more looking for specific one is for gold. But yeah, I think I had stop loss last week on this one. I short BTC 63 to 100 so that yeah, you asked that question earlier. For the best plan is just to wait, near open. If uh it drop immediately after the open, just hold the position. If not, I'm not yet sure because you are opposing my, I'm longing and you're shorting on this area at 63K. So yeah, if Bitcoin reject at 4K and you have or you had a confirmation to short, yeah, you can add more on that. But if there's a positive volume, as I said earlier, on still on CVD and delta volume, still trying to push up more up until 65. Maybe set stop loss at 64,500 for that short. Yeah, probably. So it is risky for my side also because it's Monday. Tomorrow will be the real price action, in my opinion. Okay, so that's it for my analysis and area to watch and my watch list for today. So yeah, Port Monkey, it's your turn and prepare for my Tao questions.
Okay, I'll take the reins from here, guys. Just give me 1 second. I have to switch up some. We are rocking and rolling once again. Okay, so I'll just start with some quick coverage relating to BTC, real quick. Let me cover this here. Okay, so last week to close off the week, we tested our Tenkan Sen level right at 62.5. Saw a bounce from there, and we are continuing upwards. Right now, the level I'm looking for, we've had a bullish diversion on the Ichimoku cloud. So this trend could now be bullish. We could see BTC push through here. But the key areas to watch are 64.3 and 64. So essentially the 64K area. If we see a strong push through here this Monday, we could definitely see price move upwards. Maybe make a new high, maybe sweep the highs here at 66.9, maybe even eventually see a sweep of 67K. But thing I want to mention is pretty important. We currently have exactly 50 days until we've been in a bear market for a year. So 50 days until October 6, 2026. Now, bear markets tend to last around a year, so I'm just with how we made a new all-time high pre-halving this time around this cycle. There's a chance that we may be in a bear market for less than a year. So there are a lot of things to watch. Price action's one of them. Again, I've said this in a few streams before. Bottom could already be in. 57.8 could have been the bottom. We don't know. Only time can tell. And I think today's going to be, well, this week might be an important week, as we usually see for the past few Mondays, we've seen like a 1 to 3% drop each time, more or less. We should see another drop today, but if we don't see that, obviously something has changed. So like I said, areas to watch currently are 64.3 and 64, so just this area here. We get a push through that and hold above them. We are more than likely going up higher, back up to the 65k area. If we do not hold that, and if we continue downwards, the area to hold now is currently 62.3 or 62.4. We lose that area, we are going to see the 60 to 61k range this week, as we have all this liquidity down here. If you look at the heat maps, I have one pulled up, but I don't have that currently sharing. But essentially, we have a lot of liquidity here at the 62k area as well. So if we manage to push up here in New York, retest the daily Tenkan and then push down, we could come back into this range here and retest these areas, these orange lines that I have marked out with liquidity. We could see those tested. If we don't see a bounce from any of them, we're more than likely going to go a little lower. And ideally would be pretty nice to see a new low made. That would be nice. Have a little free dive pattern. So something like, what is my little drawing thing? So we had low here, a low here, and we could essentially see something maybe like around here, like it's maybe around the 53, 54k area. And from there, we might see a Wyckoff pattern play out. That's essentially what I've been aiming for at this bottom, and what I've been looking at more than anything is there's a Wyckoff pattern that plays out like this: two dips, we come back down, hold above the second low range for a little while, and then start to push up. Or you have a spring, which we do two lows, have a strong dip down, a third one, and this one gets bought up pretty quickly. So it's essentially a very rapid bounce. We drop into this area, make a third low, and we bounce back up pretty quickly into the range. So that's essentially what I'm eyeing pattern-wise and structurally, and just based on a few other things. Just these two areas at the low, and these three areas at the low, and these two areas at the high. Not too much else to add on BTC, just going to be watching New York Open like a hawk, see which level gets taken first, because again, on weekly open we do see a lot of manipulation, we see a lot of wicks, see pushes to highs, lows. I'll just bring this up real quick to show you some key levels. We have the 4 hour, be a bit easier to see. We have the weekly open and the monthly open sat right at the same levels. Have our previous weekly high here, so again, push above this, we can see the weekly high get taken maybe, or maybe make a lower high around here, so just deviate above quickly and then come back down, or we could just head straight down. Not too much to add from there. Now for positions wise, August has been pretty shitty for shorts, not gonna lie, for me at least. I have a few trades running still, which are gold, which almost worked me out break even. I'm currently sat break even on gold. This is a swing. I'm essentially just aiming for the range lows here, because again, I'm also a participant and a believer that gold has topped, so we're not going to see a much higher push. This is probably just going to be another lower high. So we can see if we draw a trend line, we can easily also see that just from here to here, we've essentially, if I do this, we've essentially deviated above this trend line slightly. And now, just pure confirmation. This is the way I'm going to draw. I mean, you could easily just fucking draw it like this and just say, oh no, this is the way it is. But no, I prefer it like this. It's much cleaner, in my opinion. So essentially what I'm just going to be looking for here on gold for confirmation is C push down. If we hold above this, if we like bounce off this again, might take a long off this trend line. But more than likely we'll just push down, have a retest, and then continue downwards. That's what I'm looking for on gold currently. That's still running. Stops are break even, not too much else to add. And we also had Link. Where's Link? There we go, Link. I had my Link trade set up, stopped us out. We got filled on it around here. We dipped back down, came up, and then just pushed straight through our stop loss up to here, up to this. We come to the 12-hour. 60. Yeah, 60 now. We could just see it just came up to the 16-hour liquidity pool and started taking some liquidity. So for now, for Link, I'm not going to touch it. I'm just going to watch price action, see how it tests this area again. So if we get another, I'd say if we get 3 taps into this area here on Link, which was a very nice push, to be honest. If we get like so real quick so I can see this on the lower time frames. For Link, if we get about 3-4 taps into this area and don't see a push through and DMI indicates that bears are taking control, I'll take a short on it. I'll probably market enter, because this is again more observational, so this is the area I'd watch. If not, if we just keep pushing higher, I'll be watching this further liquidity pool up here. But then again, alts do tend to bottom before BTC does, so I'll be very cautious with this. I won't marry the trade idea. It wouldn't be a full range play. It'd be more try to catch a 1 to 2, 1 to 3 risk to reward on it, and then just be happy with that. So for Link, that is it. Now Hype's been very nice to me lately. So we got 3 of our fills, we got our entry and our 2 DCAs, and we got a rejection just before our stop loss. I'd like to see Hype start to push down now. Actually, what I'm going to do, for any of you that are following this level, this is in my journal later probably, I'm going to move the stop losses to this high, more than likely, because we take this high, we're going to push up. So I'm just going to minimize risk slightly, so if we incur a smaller loss, that would be nice. That's the only thing I'm going to do. If you're following my hype trade, I just move stops to this high here. That's it, because again, there's not much margin between this high and where my stop loss is. So that should be in currently. Made lower high. Filled 50% of this wick here. There's a little pattern that I want to point out. A lot of the times when you see us run, if you use this Lux Algo order block indicator, which is I call more of a liquidity pool indicator, there's this little how can I put it? Pattern. Let's just call it a pattern for the sake of calling it. I've noticed a lot of times that when we run into this and there's these multiple highs, we tend to get, if there's going to be a decent rejection, I noticed this on Tau, I noticed this on some hype trades that I took, on multiple other things across the market, we tend to get like a 50% wick fill if we're going to reject. So this isn't something I'd marry, it's just something I've noticed and I thought it's quite interesting to point out. So if we reject and we don't sweep the high, it always ends in just a little 50% wick fill here. I noticed that on Tau as well. When I caught my Tau trade, I noticed it filled just before sweeping the high. I only filled the wick precisely around 50%, rejected, and then headed downwards. So that's just something quite interesting I thought I'd point out. Now as well, what was I also looking at? My ETH long, which is still running. Let's just move this a little bit more. There we go. ETH long is still running currently. I DCA'd a little bit when we got our wick downs here, so risk is 06R. Pretty nice. I removed my short limits simply because, again, in 50 days we'd have been in a bear market for a year, so just based around time, not really worth it anymore for me to take shorts, as well as August slapping all my shorts. I decided that I'm only going to be looking for longs at this point, not just longing wildly, but just looking for longs at key levels. ETH here, very nice, treating us very well. We haven't even tested wave B yet. We keep rejecting above wave B of this little pattern here, which is very nice to see. And we continue to make higher lows on the higher time frame. Cool. Yep, a lot of wiki price action. What I'm going to be looking for on ETH now currently is we had this wick high. I'm going to see if we manage to get a close above these candle bodies here. So close on the hourly above like 1915. If we hold above the previous weekly high, that would be also very nice. I'd like to see a test of wave A here on this harmonic pattern. Now, ideally, taking the previous monthly high would be absolutely beautiful. That would be incredible. That would be very nice to see on ETH. But other than that, I'm just going to hold this, let it run for a little while. And that's about it. Sol, I have no trades open currently. If you follow my journal, no, this is the one I want. Okay, if you are following my journal, I have this set up here for XRP. This is a bull run play. So this is just the trade I'm taking for the bull run. If we go across XRP on all the time frames, it continues to make higher highs each cycle. So I'm willing to bet that I'm willing to risk more likely that that this time it will make another higher high. Now I have this trade set up like so. I'm going to be DCAing it weekly. I'm just going to do a little DCA every week. And total risk, if we get all these fills, and more or less with my weekly DCAs, should be 5% of my pool. If this gets hit, which I don't think it will. We have a very big weekly FEG here. I think we might see a test down to the second level here, reject heavily, maybe around this area here as well, the 0664. I think we should see something like this. So essentially, just a few little tests downwards into here, and then slowly head upwards. It's a horrible drawing, I know, but just so you guys get an idea of what I'm looking for, just something to head down. Forget these fills here. I have limits placed at all these levels, so 09596, 08530, 07534, 0664. And I half expect us to get like a couple fills. So most I see is going down to 0853. That's why I'm going to be also DCAing weekly. Now, I wanted to mention the way I'm also going to be playing my swings as well. I like to repeat this so you guys can get it in your head. I'm going to be doing for my high time frame like bull run plays. So for some of them, I'm going to enter where I'm going to continuation long Bitcoin. So when I see a trend shift and we get a little retest of the previous range, I'm going to long there. Some I'm already in. So for example, Asta, BTC, XRP. And to move on, AVAX is another one I'm looking at. AVAX right here. I'm not in it yet. This is just a play I'm seeing. We're currently below every other low. Now, RayRay wanted to ask me about Tau earlier. Now, this is something interesting I want to point out. I see a very similar pattern here on AVAX as I do with Tau. And this is very similar to what Rami has as well. So if we just come here, we kind of had this trend line, so to speak. So let's just mark it up here and here. We had this sort of trend line here. Now, marked all the way from there doesn't look too much. Now, this is what Rami pointed out in his journal. If you guys want to check it out and find that post or tag him and ask him about it, we have this. So I'm just going to mark that like this. We have this downtrend that's been going on for a few years. Now, if we jump back up, we might see AVAX just run to here, so like to around the $18 to $20 area. But what Rami pointed out was, if we manage to break out of this descending channel here, break out, come back down, retest it, and continue to pump, we could see AVAX head all the way back up to here. All the way up to the 146 area. Now, this is more of a long shot trade. It's an altcoin. Altcoins it's a gamble, essentially. I mean, you can do all your TA on them and whatever, but their volatility each cycle is so different. Like, some altcoins run more in one cycle, some others less. With AVAX, if it manages to break out of this descending trend line here, break above it and hold, and head up, and continue to take highs in liquidity, just based around time, and based around structure, this could be a very, very, very insane play. I mean, Rami himself is the one who pointed this out with a Elliott wave pattern as well, which I highly recommend you guys check out, so he'll explain it a lot better than me. But this is another coin I have my eyes on. I will more than likely long it sometime this week. Probably set some limits around here and stop losses at this bottom here at 2.8. Maybe, or just hold and wait. We shall see. But either way, AVAX is something that I have my eyes on as well. Gold needs to die. I completely agree there. Guys, do you have any questions for me or for RayRay? I know RayRay wanted to ask about Tau as well. I hopped.
Yeah. Can you check that on 4 hour time frame also? I have a plan to swing, not ultra swing for the next bull run, but yeah, 4 hour and 1 week.
I had my full TP for Tau around here, which kind of pisses me off. I closed it a bit early. But I had my full TP at Tau around that low, and it would have hit, which was very nice. But either way, that's a lovely 1 to 9 play there. Tau on the 4 hour time frame. Thing with Tau is, which I want people to know as well, it got so much traction because it was pretty much. It has the same tokenomics as BTC, so a fixed supply of 21 million. And it had the huge AI narrative around it as well. So that's kind of the thing. It got this big push, it got all this traction based on tokenomics and the narrative with it. Again, could it have a very good play in the bull run? Definitely. I mean, all coins will run very well in the bull run. That's undeniable, but again, we would have to see it break out of this descending channel here. See it break out of here. Probably. I'll see. What I'd like to see is it break out of here, essentially, and then from there we could easily see it head back up to $750 and over $1,000. It's a nice play. It's a coin that I'm willing to long as well. Now, do I think we're going to get more lows on this? I don't think so. I don't think we're going to go too much lower than this. Again, bear market's over soon. It's exactly 50 days from today to October 6th when we made BTC's all-time high last year. So, kind of debatable whether in the next 50 days we find a new bottom. But yeah, Tau any coin that has held up through this bear market, and I mean held up. I don't mean like fucking died off. Like I'm talking about things like Ave as well. Things like Ave, things like Ondo. I would say I wouldn't say Cake. Fuck that. But I'd say things like Link, Ethereum, Ondo, Sol, Nia, BNB, TRX, AVAX, XRP, LTC. These Asta as well. Asta's one that I'm heavily into. But coins like this and Hype as well, if we can get a good retracement and a good entry. I'm aiming for this box here, so I'm aiming for anywhere between like $50 to 30 to start swing longing Hype decently. If not, I'll just wait for a structural shift and long it. But essentially, any coin like this that's held up through various cycles, has had good runs during cycles, and has survived. This cycle doesn't look like it's dying off. Essentially, the top 50 coins, I would say, top 50, top 10. If you can get into the top 10, that'd be ideal. Those are the ones you should be aiming for swing longs. Like, kind of just ignore narratives pushed by like X or all these different people, and look at coins that have actually survived, that have been around for various cycles and have had good pumps every cycle. Those are what you should be kind of looking for swing longs. It also depends. New coins. This is also what I'm going to be doing for the bull run. I'm going to be on X like mad. Look at all these coins that come out with new tokenomics, new narratives, new things. Just every cycle, there's a narrative. There's a type of coin that comes out with a narrative to it. Last cycle, we had dexes at the end of it. And at the very end of the bull run, how all these dexes come out. So we had Hyperliquid, Asta, Lighter, all these different things come out. And see extreme pumps. Now, those are the things you want to be looking for. Like, what coins coming out with these very strong narratives? Long them and get out as quick as you can. Like, and if you want to hold them, like hold up 25 to 10% of them, and from there you can just long the broader market for like things that have been around for ages, like Sol, Ethereum, and all those things. So that's essentially just what I'm eyeing for now. Not gonna lie to you guys. Not gonna try and overcomplicate it. Try and go for 100x's or anything. I mean, there'll be a point in the bull run where some traders in here will hit 100x. But if you're longing fucking insane amount of shit coins, that's the thing. So you can get those crazy returns and all that jazz, but again, it really, really depends on the narrative behind that coin. Guys, any questions? I don't have too much else to cover. I'm just waiting for New York Open, essentially. That's what I'm eyeing for today. So, Ray, any questions? Guys, any questions? Anything you want to mention, Ray?
Yeah, good.
You good?
Let's just wait for New York Open.
Okay. Yeah, New York Open should get pretty interesting today. Because BTC is currently up. What are you doing on the hourly, my friend? Quick ass look. If we play the same... Yeah, if we play the same game... Monday. Yeah, Monday High could be in already. If we play the same game as we have past Mondays, Monday High could already be in. Yeah, just look at last week's practice session was pretty insane. So we get around to 2 p.m. dump. So pump into 2 p.m. dump. Pump into 2 p.m. dump. Pump all the way into around. This week was a little bit different. Thursday was a little bit different. Pumped until 4 p.m. then dumped. Friday was just absolutely dead. We dumped until 4 p.m. and then we just started ranging for the weekend. I mean, look at that weekend price action. Isn't that beautiful? Just fucking absolutely diabolical price action. Absolutely fucking diabolical. Yeah, so let's see what happens this week. I mean, we might start seeing a slow bleed down. I don't know, but again, just look at that price action. Like at 2 p.m. all the way up until Thursday, it was just 2 p.m. and dump, 2 p.m. and dump. That was Algo was working overtime then. Jesus Christ. Compressor also. Yeah, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's on New York. So for Mondays and Tuesdays, it's more based around algorithm timing. So when New York opens, it's not like 100 fucking degenerate traders in the NYSE or off their heads on fucking cocaine and cigarettes and boat parties like the fucking Wolf of Wall Street. It's an algorithm. You're fighting against an algorithm and like 100 dudes behind computers trying to make sure the algorithm doesn't fucking die and does certain things. So you can see that if we let's just go down to a slightly lower time frames just so you guys can see it. If we come to yeah, exactly at 2 p.m. we started our dump. Then we pushed into Tuesday, and exactly at 2 p.m. we dumped, and we pushed up into Wednesday, and today that day they did it a little bit later, but essentially from 2 p.m. printed a 9 and we dumped. Then on Thursday they switched it up. Thursday they just kept it here in this little range, and at 4:30 they dumped it. Then for Friday we just started ranging. Those are little algorithm things. There's little patterns, but again, those are just algorithm fucking things. Those are just trading algorithm things. They're predictable but unpredictable. I mean, you can catch a pattern if it happens enough, but they switch it up. That's the issue with trying to catch that. It really depends. I mean, a lot of the time you can see it happening, but I mean, for a few months this year, it was around 4 p.m. Around 4 p.m., that's when a lot of shit would happen. I mean, you could also see. I mean, the Monday dump thing kind of reminds me very early into this bear market when we were still at like 90k, around the 80 to 90. Sorry, yeah, around the 80 to 100k range there. When the top was like a 97k and we dipped. That I think it was that range that there was all this Jane Street shit going on. Like every fucking Monday or some shit, or every day at certain times, they just fucking absolutely dump BTC's price insanely. I'm not sure how many of you guys were there for that or remember that, like that whole Jane Street thing, and then they got caught for doing it. They like that's the only reason we know it was Jane Street. Like I remember trading that range and literally just waiting for like Jane Street. So okay, what time's it open? 4 p.m. Fuck it, sure, and it would fucking work. Like that's how you can sometimes catch how these algorithms and all this shit plays. But that was fucking wild. That's some of like the craziest manipulation I've seen for a little bit. You think NY is gonna dump? Yeah, I think we're gonna start. My preference would be to see. Okay, let's put it this way. My preference would be to see a dump. But really, what I'm eyeing is I can't really make a prediction on it. Because again, we might see the same algorithm as last week play out, like what I just pointed out. It's like 2 p.m. dump, 2 p.m. dump, 2 p.m. dump. We might see that play out. So look, we're getting to around 2 p.m. now. 2 p.m. We're starting to see sell off. Not very hard sell off. But again, New York opens like in 30 minutes. So we could easily just see a sell off and retest the weekly Tenkan here at 62.3. If that doesn't hold, head lower and take the liquidity. But we could open New York and they could retest a daily Tenkan Sen. Maybe come up, take some liquidity from here from Thursday, sweep the highs of Thursday, take that, retest 64.2 here, reject, and then head downwards. You don't know, it's weekly open. We do see a lot of manipulation around weekly open. I'm short 63.2. Should I add to get better average? Looking Looking if we break this fib on the 1 hour. Ooh, I don't really want to tell you how to manage your position precisely, because I mean you had your own thesis of why you took that trade. So like you know, I mean you should have your invalidations pretty clear. I mean, if I were you, I mean I'd have my invalidation at around fucking maybe this high here, like it's 64.1 if I would take a trade. But if I was gonna take like a short on BTC, I would be aiming for like 64, 62 here and see if we rejected these areas. If we rejected these areas, I would take a short. I wouldn't be shorting here. Cause I mean, we had this little staircase up, and then we had our sell off. So that's essentially what I'm trying to say is I wouldn't. No point here would I have shorted. I mean, this. If I'd have missed this trade here, if I didn't get some fills, this is where I would have shorted. Like at the essentially the range retest here. So we see this bit here. This is where I would have been looking for shorts, essentially. Here and here is where I would have been looking for shorts. Like a little just the retest. That's what I would have been eyeing. And we didn't get this one, we got that one, so that's what I would have been looking for shorts, like a retest and then catch the move downwards. I wouldn't be shorting here. Especially not around weekly open. So I can't really tell you. I couldn't really tell you, Sniper, honestly, if you should add to get a better average. I mean, I would look at just managing the risk on that trade for now, not looking to add and that. I'd just observe certain key levels that you have, see the reactions around them, if you don't have a stop loss or clear invalidation, and decide from there. And try not to go into heavy drawdown with it. Like, try not to marry that trade idea. I mean, from that previous pattern that I showed you, could Monday high be in? Yes, I mean, there's a chance that there is, but you just have to wait for New York. Now, I'm not telling you whether to close the trade or keep it open or add or whatever. I don't know. Because it just doesn't align with the way I take trades. So just try to verify that. I mean, if you think the top could be in, maybe move the stop loss to this high, minimize your risk on that trade, and if you get stopped out, observe another key area and re-enter if you are looking for shorts. That's probably the best advice I could give. Guys, any other questions? Any questions, any consultations, anything you guys want to bring up? Yeah, if there's no other questions, we and RayRay have been at it for an hour essentially. So, yeah, if there's no other questions, gentlemen, I think I'm going to do the, as always, marketing part of the streams. So, for all of you in here who do not have Apex and you don't know what it is, I'll explain it really quickly. You see the guys in here with the little gold names and the nice little Apex star by their names? Those are Apex members. And the way you get Apex is two ways. You can either open a ticket and annoy Rolton Donald just slightly, or you can head to the channel Apex Access, where it's broken down and explains step by step how to get access to Apex and all the benefits that it has as well. But I'll just quickly break those down, which are: number one, you get, by trading on Bit Unix with us, you get some very nice benefits. You get VIP free, so you get very good discounts on spot fees, on trading fees as well. I've saved around $300 this month from that alone, so pretty good, can't complain. On top of that, you also have educational content from the core traders in there, and you also have access to Killer's live trades currently, which he has just started, so that's why I'm trying to hop off of this bitch as fast as I can. And on top of that, you also have access to our junior corners. So you get to see, for example, my trades, RayRay's trades, Nicho's trades, Jacko's trades, Wolf trades. You get access to our insights as well as our trades. So yeah, guys, that's it for today. Thank you for joining me and RayRay again. We'll probably be streaming again this week at some point. So yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone.
Yep, it's much appreciated as always. Anyway, guys, I'm off to watch Killer streams with the other Apex members. Have a good day. Have a good
Thank you.
Monday.